Good evening. Well, the Who's today in Sydney were at Rosehill. At Rosehill, we had a slow 7, and the rail was 4 metres out. It was well, look, everybody's talking about it. How fly blown the game is, absolutely maggotless. You know, everybody is agreeing with me that the TAB is the cancer of racing. It is without a doubt. This week, well, today, for instance, today we had the Hooves on. This is New South Wales. Don't know about the other states. New South Wales, we had the Hooves on at Rosehill. There was one other meeting up at in the coalfields at Newcastle where they had 10 races. And there was a picnic meeting on at Wigan. Now, during the week, I've said this before and I've written about it. Starting off last Sunday, of course, we had a meeting at Coonamble and one at Moruya. There's nobody there. The jockeys were getting their face painted. And we can go there, the trainers and the jockeys and the one profession, the bookies and the clerks, they all get their face painted at Coonamble and Moruya. On Monday, of course, we had the postponed meeting from last Saturday to Monday at Rosehill. There were 3 people there. It was empty. It was a ghost town. They left the gates open. There was a meeting on at Wagga. Imagine if there were 3 people at Wagga at Rosehill. Imagine what it would have been like on Monday at Wagga. It's a bog track. There's no one there. It's empty. Cooey, and you can't see anyone. Tuesday, there was a meeting on at Bathurst and at Scone, and the Scone meeting was, of course, the Jungle Juice meeting transferred from Cessnock to Scone because of the conditions of the track there. Well, say that meeting could have gone all right once a year, their biggest meeting at Cessnock, to run during the week. On Wednesday, we had Warwick Farm. Thursday, we had Grafton and Wyong. Well, I suppose it's all right this time of year, the graft lead up to their carnival Grafton to race. And on Friday, yesterday, we had Gunnedah and Taree. Well, the Coonamble meeting and the Moruya meeting on Sunday, the Wagga meeting on Monday, the Bathurst meeting on Tuesday, on Friday, the Gunnedah and Taree meetings, they should have been all on today. This was the case. It didn't matter where you were in New South Wales, you didn't have far to travel of a Saturday to go to the races. But today, Newcastle and Rosehill, that was it. If you lived up on the north coast or further inland on the north coast, out towards Moree, or you went down the south coast, all the tracks down along the south coast, and then working your way right over to Broken Hill, or you go over the mountains and you get to Bathurst, and all the meetings are spread out from Bathurst and further out northwest and southwest from there. Not a meeting on the tab. They've handled it well, haven't they? Oh yes. Now, if you want to bet, you can go to the tab. You know, like so. All these meetings you've got on during the week that used to be on Saturdays, where the clubs used to be able to survive. Bookies used to turn up. There was the on-course tote betting on for the ladies and whatever, the small punters who wanted to have a bet on the tote. Bookies accommodating the punters for Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane and Adelaide or wherever, and also betting on the local events. And everyone had a quid. Now this filthy TAB has just said everybody broke. They've got these. It's so depressing going to these meetings. They think it's all rosy-posy, sitting at home. Oh, you can watch them on the telly. They haven't got 1,000,000 to 1 chance, those people. Like, you've just bled them dry, and you've just completely ruined this game. It has gone to Gowings, and you are the cancer of racing. All you punters out there, when you talk about the tab, just say to you, mate, yeah, the tab, the cancer of racing. Everybody's saying it. The tab is the cancer of racing, and it is. Today's meeting at Rosehill, the first race, there was 103.2 on the screen, a couple less in the marketplace, 101. was won by the second pick, Eurozone, making it 2 from 2. It beat the favourite, Bull Point. Bull Point went up an 11-8 on chance, about $1.70. That was actually taken. It got into $1.60 at one stage. It got back out to $1.85 given on the fence, but plenty of $1.80. Started only at $1.70, and it slipped over. Well, it didn't slip, but slipped behind at the start, which wouldn't have helped it. A little bit further, Nash was going to be more positive than that. He wasn't able to get up near the lead. Then when he went to go, he was pushed a little bit wider by the winner. By the same token, he had his chance to run it down the straight and was more or less safely held near the line, getting beaten 3/4 of the length. The winner, Eurozone, we put it up a clear second pick at 9 to 4, about $3.20. It got out to as much as $4.40 and came into about $3.80 at one stage, but got back out to start $4.40 when they jumped, and it got the chocolates. They had a lap on the others. The third pick, Wouldn't It Be Nice, who had its chance, it ran third, beaten 3.5 lengths. The others were well back, only about 101, and the winner well backed at one stage. The second race, they said there was 101.5 on the screen, only 96% in the marketplace, and this was won by the Avery, Oompa Loompa. And well, going back to this track, early in the day, there was a nor'westerly blowing, which was into the face of the leaders down the side, but I don't think it had any effect. But what did have an effect on the results today was the inside of the track. The inside section of the track before the turn and in the straight was definitely inferior. All the riders tried to avoid going to the inside in the straight and getting off the fence well before the turn. And this was the case in the second race, ridden by Nippy Nash, Oompa Loompa, giving Waller, breaking the winner and breaking the trainer's record. We put it up a 6 to 4 chance, excuse me, and it got out to as much as $3.20, a fair bit of it. It only started $2.40. I joined in at $2.60 and had a bad result on it. And as I say, it was perfectly ridden by Nash. He went straight to the lead. When he got to the lead, when they got around the first bend, he sat 4 off the fence all the way to the turn. Looking at him all the way was the second horse, Mount Nebo, who only got beaten a 0.1 of a length. Even though he's only been beaten 0.1 of a length, was more or less never going to catch him from the time they turned for home. Coming from 5th position or 6th position with a trail was Rebel Dancer, but beaten easily around about 3 lengths. First and second got away from the others. And also, besides the inside being no good in the straight and on the fence near the turn, it was more or less an advantage to be up near the lead as well today, although a couple of runners did come from a bit back in the field. But Oompa Loompa was perfectly rated by Nash. The reason it got home was, of course, he didn't cross to the fence, stayed off that bad section all the way, got the break on the turn, and was just able to hang on. And as I say, the pros, they never left the captains standing here. $3 when it got to the 320, how much? And the 310, $3, 290, 280 killed you for the 270, and they killed you for the 260 and 50. Started $2.40. The third race came along. They said there was 105.6 on the screen. There was a good 5 less in the marketplace, only about 100. And this was won by Waller again with Fulgur, the runner that's been racing in Melbourne. And it started $4.60, much as $5 was given. And even though, well, it sat 3 wide in this race, when he was wide in the early stages, they hadn't gone, no more for the Avery, I can't go on. um, it winning Glory, the designated leader, it went straight to the lead, and it went after getting to the lead, settled fairly well, and he was able to get a very cheap lead, and it stayed near the fence all the way. It finished up running third, beaten 1.3 lengths, but the easy lead and run that it had would have helped it hanging on to that position. As I say, the winner, it was 3 wide when there was no pace on, and then Slick Sniper, who was to be ridden closer today, it did miss the kick. It settled down last, and it took off at around about the 1,000-metre mark or before that, and Nash was able to get onto its back, which helped him suck him to the race. Like I've said it before, you know, it's only my opinion and a lot of other people's opinion as well. This business about having to tell how you're going to race, if you're going to go back or forward, like this, horse racing is gambling involved. It's not only the gambling, but owners pay big training fees, and at the end of each race, there's a purse. There they are. They're dangling a purse at the end of the race. There it is. There's the prize money. First past the post gets it, and even second and third will throw in some cash, and fourth, fifth, and there's the prize. And fancy having to go out now saying, wait there. Now, I'm going to try and get this purse, but I'm going to do. I've studied this race a little bit today. The owner says, or the trainer says, or the hickey hockey says, oh, I think this is going to be a little bit faster run than I think, and I'm up near the lead. I'm not going to go to the lead. I'm going to ease back. Fancy having to show your hand to say, oh, I'm going to go back here, letting the world know that you're trying for your life. You're racing for the purse. Oh no, I'm going back today. Oh, so and so. Oh, he's going back. Someone else says, well, he's going back. Oh, in that case, we'll go forward. It shouldn't have to happen. Slick Sniper, I'm going forward. I did miss the kick, but settled down last. Nash got on his back, run this race over again. It won by 0.3 of a length. We all saw the race. It opened up $4, got out to as much as 5, as I say, started 4.60. There were plenty of fluctuations with most runners in the race. Possibly the unlucky runner run this race again. You get quite a few different results, but one runner might happen to win it. Well, the two runners that I thought that might happen to win it, if you run the race again, would be Worldwide, who got into an awkward position and was off the bit when they sprinted. It was only a sprint home, and also Scottish Border, who got tangled up in between runners from barrier 1, never got clear galloping room and wasn't fully tested. As I say, run this race again and you would get a few different results. It might have been a blessing in disguise, Nash sitting out where he was and not being trapped near the fence. Race 4, 105 on the screen, 101 in the marketplace. This was won by Waller again. Claim 3, Jay Kissick on the top weight, had 58 on his back, Sessio, and it was given a beautiful ride by this apprentice. It got into fourth position, one off the fence. The runner that started favourite here was Arch Fire, the visitor from down in Melbourne. We put it up $4, got out to $4.20. It was into $3.30 at one stage, even 20, but got back out to start $3.50, and it was trapped wide for about the first 900 or nearly 1,000, about to the 1,000-metre mark, ridden by T. Clark. He had no alternative but to take it to the lead. Spent a little bit of juice out of the tank getting there, and of course he stayed close to the fence, which wasn't the place to be. So its run was obviously better than it looked. And as I say, whilst that happened to that runner, the winner when they went out of the straight, when they went out of the straight and up the side, it was always in a beautiful position, in fourth position more or less, one out, one back. And when they turned for home, the leader was fairly close to the fence, as I say, Archfire, and ridden by the apprentice. He just eased off their heels, Secessio, and it was too strong. It won by 2 lengths. It came off Piazza San Pietro's back. It sat outside the leader, or was always up near the lead, and it stuck on well for second hole, but beaten 2 lengths, and getting trapped 3 wide and 4 wide down the side for about the 1,000-metre mark, or even a little bit before that, was after it had gone to the lead, Archfire. Left out wide was Diamond Jim, and it stuck on fairly well, but beaten 3 lengths, plugging away. The winner got the charm run, and that most certainly helped it win that race. Race 5, they said there was 108.1 on the screen. There was about 7% less in the marketplace, around about 101 only. And who got the cash here? Micmac. It was a good result for the captains here. It went from a 12 to 1 chance, opening $13, got out to $17 when they jumped. And it went straight to the lead, Micmac, and was a good 6 off the fence, turning for home. And it wasn't until he more or less got to the 300 after straightening, he still had plenty up his sleeve, and he was able to kick, and he held on very well. Sitting on its outside all the way was Under the Sun. It finished up running second, beaten a length, and coming just off behind heels was Sedcom, who got slightly held up, found the line better than any other runner, but it always does. It didn't get into, it got into a little bit of an awkward position, but it was beaten 1.2 lengths. What else do you say about this race? Well, it had to get back to the inside, see the world. There was when you watch the race, you'll easily see why the jockeys avoided it. See the world could have cut back to the fence, but he didn't want to go near the fence. And even though there was a stack, he only had one place to go, that was inside. But he tried to ease off their heels and try and get middle splits. It ran fairly ordinary anyway, but if it would have stayed back close to the fence, it might have got beat further than it did. It ran second last, beaten 5.3. Disciple, well, it was in between runners. Back in the last place, it held on fairly well. Run this race again, the way it was run and the way the track was playing and the way things fell into place, you would also get a few different results. Dance on Stars, who was well back from $9 into $7, it got trapped 3 wide. And what do we give here? We gave $5 a field, 4 to 1 the field in a field of 8, and a starting favourite was Under the Sun. After $5 was given, started $4 favourite, 3 to 1 the field. Its starting favourite, Under the Sun. There wasn't much percentage there. The winner got out in the market, and the captains had a good result. Race 6. Well, I don't think the captains had a good result here. This was won by the Avery. Eaglestein, also given a great ride by Nippy Nash, and another winner for Waller. On the screen here, big discrepancy. They said there was 101.2, fairly skinny on the screen, but I counted only about 90%, a good 10 or 11 in the marketplace. These were the flux. Now, it was absolutely hopeless. For a start, the favourite, as much as $3.20 was given on the fence. I think it only flucked $3.10, $3.20 given. It started $2.70 hard to get, but Pretty Pins, it didn't have a name, number 2. It went from $4 to $8, 3s to 7s, $4 out to $8. Bay Window was $9 out to $15. Cressida, 18 out to 26, back into 18. Gliding from an $8.50 chance out to $12. Eaglestein, the winner, who ran at Rosehill on Monday, backing up today in the 5 days, and was a bit unlucky, as we all saw on Monday. It was $2.70 or 60 or 250, 250 it was. We put it up to 6-4 favourite, got out to 9-4, 320, and started $2.70, hard to get. Acapella, very well back from $13 into $9, but back out to 11. Happy Huzzy, well backed, $10 into $7.50. The next runner, Hendricus, very well backed from open 850, got out to $10, only started $7. And Too High Tech was 30 out to 40, back into 30. Around about 90 only. It was not worth a caser, especially with Pretty Pins not having a price, and the winner firming right up after bookies reached for it. It sat in 6th position. It won off the fence. It led Bay Window, which was thought to be the case. It stayed close to the fence, Bay Window. It got beat 1.3 lengths. It was in the worst section of the ground, so its run was a little bit better than look. But Eaglestein, it took a while for it to wind up. It's the import, and it took a while, but as it was winding up, if you were a Captain Cookie, and I suppose if you were a Grumble and Grunter, you could more or less see at about the 200-metre mark, or maybe even before that if you had a crystal ball, that it was going to run down the leaders, and it did. It won by 1 length. It beat the horse that sat outside the leader, Happy Huzzy. I wonder if this form's any good. The 8-year-old ran 3rd, Bay Window, as I say, staying close to the fence. And the Pretty Pins hit the line well after coming off the fence inside the favourite. But unfortunately for the captains, the favourite was a bad result. Race 7, but this was a very good result. We got the cash here. Master Harry got won this race. They said there was 103.9 on the screen, but maybe about 3 or 4 less in the marketplace, around only about 100. Plenty of runners backed, well, a few runners backed, but one of them wasn't the winner. It went from a $16 chance out to $21, 16s, 14s out to 20s, Master Harry. The flux in this race were Kenny's World, 20 out to $71. My Destiny, $8 out to 16 given, started 14. Zaratone, 5 out to 650, back into 550. Master Harry, told you. Live and Let Die was 26 out to 31. Motional Circus, $6 to $9.50. Vel Rosso, a Waller runner, who unfortunately, after settling down in last position, didn't get to the outside of them. He went back to the fence. Was close to it at one stage after straightening, but then, well, the steward's report said he was hanging out under pressure. I think it might have been the rider getting away from the fence looking for better going. It finished up running 4th, found the line well. Then we had, it opened up $3.20, got out to $3.70, back into $3.20 at one stage, but back out to $3.60 at the death. Whitlam, it started the favourite. It opened up $3.20, equal favourite, got out to as much as $4.20, came in and started a $3.30 favourite, although you could get $3.50 on one board when they jumped. Only $3.40, same thing. Excellent Point, it was 17 out to 19, back into 17, but back out to 18, and it was 100 all the way through the betting Bohemian Spirit. And it led in the race. Zaratone, which was always going to be the case. Master Harry from barrier 3, it was able to sit on its outside, got there fairly easily, and it got past Zaratone after not long after straightening, after levelling out, and only beat it by a half a length. Killer Kath O'Hara, she was off the fence. She was a jury what was happening with the inside, but the horse that sat on the south side, Master Harry, was a little bit too strong for her, and sitting in, well, a little bit wide was My Destiny, well, in fourth position or third position, and it finished up running third. So the runners up near the lead in that race were the runners that filled the placings. A little bit hard to make up ground, so Vel Rosso's run was good. The favourite, Whitlam, after easing off heels, put in a short dash, but it got beat 2.5 lengths, running fifth, having its chance. Then we came to the last race, and on the screen they said a fat. It was very good for the robots here, 111.1. There was about 5% less in the marketplace. You wouldn't see it, but there was the winner was the Avery single style. This was a race for fillies and mares, and she was the only filly in the race, the only 3-year-old in the race, the winner. And you wouldn't see it, but as much as $5 was given on the fence about the winner. Started $4.20, missed the kick slightly and copped a little bit of a check, ridden by Bold Blake Shin, but then got into a position around about 6th, midfield, or a little bit closer than that, off the fence. And when they were turning for home, it's a fairly big striding run of this filly, and Shin had a handful of horse. He was able to just simply ease off heels, and it sprinted up to the leaders very quickly, and it won by 1.8 lengths. Coming from behind it was the second horse, Cradle Me, who always finds the line. Running third was Party Dress, who was always up near the lead in about third position, half carting a little bit wide, and coming from more or less last or second last position, making up plenty of ground, but giving away an impossible start. The way the race was run was Urgent Bells. The winner, as I say, as much as $5 given, 4-1, started only 13-4. A bad result for the captains. There were quite a few runners backed in the race, and there were a lot of runners not backed in this race as well. So the 106 we had in the marketplace, as I say, it was very hard to lay them all. And the winner was most probably, it started favourite and was the best backed runner, and got the chocolates very easily to put a final nail in the coffin for the captains. A black day I had a bad day, and as I said, starting off, it's a shame this filthy TAB. It's just the game is just absolutely struggling at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen, but as I keep on saying, we've got to try and battle on and survive. Good evening.